3. Part 3. 3. About 4-3. Of my convo with Dottie, which, as you saw in part 2, kind of skewed into what was not going to be a tribute to my grandma to being a tribute of her, just because I just need to get up my grief, I guess, I'm practicing my eulogy, basically. It's morbid, but it's a good eulogy. Anyhow, as I said, she was very fun-loving. Oh my. I heard some stories. Like I said, she used to tell about how her and my pop-up used to go dancing and play shuffleboard at this bar called the Stanwell Inn. And they used to make up their own dances, and people would, like, go up to them and be like, you know, ask them if they were really from, like, the Arthur Murray dance school, and they were approached by a couple people to, like, to show them how to dance and everything, and it was just crazy. I wish I had video, but I don't, you know, or pictures, but of course we don't. Just memories. And she was a very colorful storyteller, my grandma. She was awesome. And she liked to watch wrestling back when I used to, like, watch it when I lived there. Oh, she would get so into it. Like, we used to, like, go to, like, the wrestling matches, like, once in a while. And she would get up and start freaking and jumping, like, rah, 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 and yelling. And it was so hilarious because this, like, old lady is sitting among all these younger teen people and adults screaming at the wrestlers. It was hilarious. It was funny. And, you know, she just gets so out of it, so overexcited. It's just like, wow, it was hilarious. And they all liked her. They all would stop and, like, be like, hi, you know, you're such a big fan, and, you know, you're a cool lady and everything. And she also used to I used to believe everything she said. Every word she said, I believed. She used to have this habit. When I was little, we were watching, like, we would watch TV, and she'd be like, I went to school with that person, and, like, some random celebrity, and I would be like, really? She'd be like, yeah, they sat in my desk, and blah, 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 and they sat near me, and for years she would do this, until I was about maybe, like, 50, and I'm like, I always thought my grandma was so cool because she went to school with famous people, like all these people. And then, like, one day, I was like, really? So what was, like, Merv Griffin like when you went to school with him? And she'd be like, what? I'd be like, you said you went to school with him and a whole bunch of other people. When we watch TV, you would say that you went to school with that person. And she'd be like, I was teasing you. I never went to school with none of them people. And you had to be there. It was funny, though, because, you know, an innocent little kid believing everything their grandma said, because I worshipped that lady. She was just one of my best friends. We would, like, go to the stores, and go to the mall, and, like, we'd, like, take, like, the stinky perfume, and, like, spray it. And, like, so, like, we would stink, like, funky all day because she'd spray, like, the nasty perfume at me as a joke, and then spray my mom. My mom would get, like, pewed at her, like, you know? And then we would go all over. She would love to shop and just buy stuff, just, like, random things. And, like, we'd be walking around, she'd be like, hey, look at that person. And it'd be, like, some ugly person, and I would try not to laugh. Or she'd be like, hey, look at this, and she'd, like, show me a bra, or something funny, or something dorky, like if we were in Spencer's, and I'd be giggling and be like, yeah, Ma, you know? Man, harder sayings, I don't really want to say, they weren't bad sayings, it was just a little out there. Like, she used to do this one. She used to, like, just randomly say, so, you think you'll ever go back? And I'm like, where am I going, Grandma? It was just something she just said, you know, just, you know, I guess it was weird. It was something she said. She's like, yep, you think you'll ever go back? Oh my god, and I thought everybody knew this phrase. So I walked up to one of my bosses one day during a lull at work when I was working at McDonald's at high school. I was like, hey Pete, you think you'll ever go back? And he's like, where am I going? I'm like, oh, wait, don't everybody say that phrase? Well, you know what that means, right? He's like, no. And then I'm like, well, I sure as hell don't either. My grandma says it though. And she had to be there, but it was funny. Just forgive my ramblings. It's just, it's been a very hard day. We've been doing everything, picking out, my uncle and my cousin and, his wife or whatever. Or my aunt rather, they went to, I forget where they went, and like bought my grandma an outfit to wear, and it's cute, it's pretty, and it was something she would have liked. She liked glittery stuff. She was a cool lady, loved her to death, loved her, I still love her, always will. And she loved this little girl right here, Dottie. This was her light, because when my mom, my grandma, when I was very, very little, my grandma had a dog, a cockapoo named Dubers, and when he died, she was a mess for years. Wouldn't want a dog or anything, and Dottie became like her surrogate great grandkid. Always call me up at like 6 o'clock at night. Did you feed the monkey? Did you feed her? Did you feed her? I'm like, monkey? Oh yeah, Dottie. Yeah, I fed her. Are you sure? Because I'm going to cry. I'm so upset because you haven't fed her yet. I'm like, Grandma, don't worry. She's being fed. She's being taken care of. It's okay. My mom's like, don't worry. She was like that when you were little, too, about yourself. And I'm like, oh, alright. So, but yeah, she was a great lady. She would so seriously get a kick out of Dottie. Just loved the girl, loved this little dog to death. And Dottie loved her too. She's trained, like every time we say we're gonna go to Grandma's, she gets all excited and jumps on the couch and jumps around. I don't want to say the word because she'll think we're going there and we're not. And that's kind of screwing her mind up. But, yeah. So, if I think of any more, I will post another blog, but here's to you, May. Here's to you, my mom, Grandma. One of the nicest, most awesome ladies, that I'll ever be on this planet. I don't care what anybody says. You were unique, you were wonderful, you were just so full of life and happiness. And toward the end, yes, you suffered. You didn't suffer, but you are in a greater place. You're in a better place. You're with all your friends, and they're watching you, and you are having a good time up there with them. And for that, I'm happy. I'm sad you're not here, but I'm glad you were somewhere where all your friends are, and Pop and everybody, and you could just have the rest of the eternity just hanging out and having the best time. With no pain, no worries. Hey, and Duber's there too. Guaranteed. Your doggy's there too. And, like I said, for that I'm glad. And I love you. And I'll miss you. Bye-bye, Grandma.